And we're live.
Yo, what's up?
What's up? Alright, this is the first episode of Tavern Talk, which is a bi-weekly podcast that we're doing. And it'll be about Sea of Thieves and other stuff, whatever we want to talk about, really. And today's episode, we're going to be talking about Season 5 First Impressions, quest boards, and will people actually use them. And we'll be talking about Fortnite End Event and a little bit of Chapter 3. So, let's first get into first impressions about Season 5. I'll let you talk first if you want about Season 5.
I mean, Season 5 in general, I feel like it was pretty hyped up, but when you actually start playing it, it's not as much content as you thought it would be, if you think about it, because it's just little things added to the game.
Yeah.
Like,
I think...
I honestly...
Oh, yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say that I think it's gonna get stale over time, like, faster than the other seasons. I think it's gonna be similar to how Season 3 we had all the Tall Tales, which were amazing. After you do the Tall Tales, like, once or twice, you kind of get bored of it.
Yeah, like, I understand it's a lot to program all that stuff in and create the code for it, but considering how much time is in between the seasons, I think after like the first month, the whole hype just kind of dies down.
Yeah, I think that's for most seasons too, actually.
I know it takes time to make all this stuff, but it's also the fact that this season they didn't really add much to it to do in the game. They just added stuff to improve the quality of the game and like, what is it? The quest boards and the burying treasure and sitting. Like, sitting is just something that's really nice and added that you didn't think you wanted or needed, but like, it's nice to have.
Yeah, I think that's a feature of a lot of things in this update. So, like, the sitting I think is really cool, and it's what inspired me to want to do this podcast, because I thought it'd be cool to, like, have a sit in the tavern and, talk about this kind of stuff. And I think other things, like, my favorite thing that got added was the storage crate fast transfer. I've said that lots of times in lots of videos and on stream and stuff. And I'm pretty sure that's your favorite too.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that part.
I really was excited for that.
Just the satisfaction of holding the storage crate, not even having to open the barrel, but just go up to it and press take, and then have all the contents in your storage crate within like 5 seconds is amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
The only thing I don't like is the fact that if you're someone who organizes all your storage items like me, is you have to still go in manually and move everything around.
Yeah, that's the only time that really annoys me is when it's bait, like fishing and stuff. Other than that, I don't really have a problem with it just adding everything in.
I don't know, because like I like putting things of what you have the most of at like the far left, and then what you don't have as much of on the far right.
Yeah.
So like cannonballs, once we reach the 99, I try to put the next stack of cannonballs next to it, but sometimes there's the chain shots in it, and I have to literally go in one by one, take out all those chain shots, and then put in the cannonballs so I can start the new stack.
Yeah.
But it might just be me who's anal about that.
I'm sure there's more people about that. For me, I think if we're going back to like the content wise, I think it would have been good for them. Ooh, you good?
I have no idea what just happened. Okay. Sorry.
Anyways, I think it would have been good for them to have like not like a quest line, but something like to guide people, almost like a mini campaign for like where do you go out, you maybe bury stuff, you get firework crates and stuff. Just like incorporate all the new features into some sort of like campaign line. That would have given like a little bit more content, because a lot of this stuff is kind of like things that you discover, and if you're not too involved in like the Sea of Thieves like news and stuff, you're not following on Twitter and you're not watching like their videos and stuff, it will kind of be a little like, I don't know, like I feel like a lot of these features you won't even notice.
Like, honestly, I don't think I would have noticed half the stuff in this update if you haven't told me, like, hey, did you check this out? Did you know this part? Like, I mean, the rats are kind of hard to miss because you're literally just standing there on the ship and they scurry past you. Like, I remember you telling me that it's like you saw them, but then when I saw it myself, I literally saw it and I screamed. I was
Yeah.
just like, you don't like pay too much mind to it. It's just, it freaked me out because you're on your ship, you're just trying to do your thing. I'm trying to figure out how to do the fast transfer thing, and I just see a rat scurry by, and I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah. I think the rats are cool. Um, it's one of those things that like makes it the game feel a little bit more real, but at the same time it doesn't really add much. Like everything else that they added, like the bearing, that has a effect on the game a lot. Like, say if you're fighting someone, you could jump off with a piece of treasure and go bury it somewhere, and then you can come back like later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they
Fireworks,
can't
you can do
find
like a
it,
display show whenever you want. Fireworks also have a hidden effect where you can shoot it at a ship and cause fire damage on them, which I think is pretty cool.
and you can hit the actual person
Yeah,
if you
I
aim it
I've,
right, though.
yeah, I don't think I've hit a person yet.
I think
Oh, yeah, what were you about to say?
I think it's just hard to aim the firework at a person because don't they like kind of swivel around and move?
I'm pretty sure they go straight eventually, but yeah, they do kind of like swivel around as they're going. But I was gonna say, since we're talking about fireworks a bit, signal flares I think are really cool, and I think are gonna be really fun if you're in an alliance. I think that would be kind of game changing, because I could see something like I was doing the Fort of Fortune one time in an alliance,
Mm-hmm.
like a month ago on stream, and we could not communicate from how far we were because we were in the middle of fighting another ship, and our alliance, like, we couldn't communicate. If we had the flares, that would have made it easier to communicate with back then, I think.
That's kind
Uh,
of like the point of signal flares in real life. Like, it's an emergency distress signal.
yeah,
Like, oh my lord, come over here, help me, I need help.
yeah, definitely. I love all the features that they added, but I do agree with you that I think people are gonna get kind of bored of the season after we get through like the first month. It's really gonna depend on the events. So right now we know there's gonna be a Festival of Giving, which, while I like the events, it requires you basically to give other people your treasure. So
And
like
like,
that's not really that fun. And then
not
Grogmany,
many
that would be
people are
cool.
gonna do that.
People will do
Grogmany
it.
sounds fun.
Grogme is fun because you're just kind of getting drunk and doing different tasks. So I like that. Festival of Giving, the only reason I like Festival of Giving is because you get gilded voyages at that time. And you also
Mm-hmm.
get other kind of voyages, which are like all high value stuff. So that always keeps me entertained. And Christmas is usually a good time for like stealing and stuff. So I think maybe that's why they waited till now to do this kind of update. Because if you think about it, they could have done this update like whenever they wanted, really.
Yeah.
But the only thing I would say is I feel like I get why they did it all at once. I feel like it would have been a little bit better if they just like sprinkled in these updates every so often, like say season 4 last season. You could have had like halfway through when people are getting bored, you could have added fireworks then. And you could have done that for every season, just like add one of these small updates in the middle of the season just to like, kind of inject life after it, because we don't really see many updates to the game other than like the events post season launch.
And I feel like after the postseason launch, for like that 1 month, the game gains a lot of traction and it becomes very popular. And you know, especially with Black Friday going on, they had their game go on sale, so more people would be inclined to buy it, especially since the new season was about to launch. And like these new players, they're gonna buy this game and they're gonna start playing and they're gonna be really excited because it's a new game, they have new update and everything. But then I feel like they're gonna get bored once they do everything. And like, I like this game. I mean, I didn't like it at first because I didn't know how to play it.
Yeah.
But once I started playing it, I do like it. It's just sometimes it feels repetitive and kind of not like I wish there was something new to do, or we already did this, and this is the only way to level up.
Yeah. I think I don't even need like a huge content update. You know what? I kind of just literally thought of this right now, to be honest. But instead, they could have just had this regular update, but take all of the original 4 trading companies, so Gold Hoarders, Merchant Alliance, Order of Souls, and Pirate Legend, Athena Fortune. All of those original voyages that have been out since day 1, they've all been like super. They need a buff. Let's just say that, because all of the other trading companies, like the other voyages that they have, so like the Gold Hoarder Vaults we've done, Lost Shipments, those get you way more loot than the original voyages do. So it makes no sense to me why you would do the original ones. So like if they buffed the amount of loot you get, that would just get people more interested, because we don't do like the regular Gold Hoarder voyages and stuff because you don't get enough loot, and we probably go back to it if you got like a bunch of captain's chest or whatever for it. What do you think?
I wouldn't know the difference because I haven't really done any of the original voyages or anything. I think I literally only did the Gold Hoarders with you, and then I think I tried to do something else, but I gave up halfway through because I couldn't get through the little parkour.
Like, that was short as a gold. That was a tall tale. But
okay,
yeah.
I don't know what it was. I could not just get past it, and it was just frustrating.
Yeah. I guess my point of view on the content aspect is we have a ton of content already in the game, like with Tall Tales. There's a good amount of voyages now, I would say. There's world events. There's a good amount of stuff to do. But I would have liked that, like, one extra thing to give me something long term to keep doing throughout the season. So, like, I would say buffing up the old voyages would have helped a lot.
I think so too. I mean, I haven't played them, but I have seen your old videos, and I just think that a lot of, I'm not just gonna say like this game company only focus, a lot of game companies, they only focus on adding new content and new updates, but they don't really think about the fact that, hey, is there anything we need to fix about our stuff we've already, put out? Like, is there anything that we need to buff or nerf? Like, they just worry about pushing out new stuff when they don't always think about the quality of the game. And it's a great game, yeah, but I think there are some other things that they could fix in this game that would make it a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah, and they don't seem like too against like updating old stuff, because like we just saw an update with the Kraken and Megalodon that like you'll see birds fly over them after loot spawns, so they are fine with doing these kind of updates. I don't know why they don't want to like update the old voyages. That's really my thing. I feel like that's something that's not too difficult. It's obviously not easy because I don't know how to code or anything. But like even if you just made it so that you got progressively better, so say if you are level 35 and above for gold hoarders, all of your voyages should be like Captain's Chest or something. Because like if I do a regular gold hoarder voyage at level 75, which is where I'm at, we go out there, we get Marauders chests and stuff. There's no point for us to do these voyages when there's, say, the Ancient Vaults, which are all Captain's chests in there, and it's like half the time to do it.
That's something I was wondering, like, I since I haven't been playing long, I honestly don't know, but like, does the voyages and any type of loot you get, it doesn't level up with you? Or get harder as you play and level up?
It was supposed to, but they never fixed it, and it just doesn't. It annoys me because when the game launched, for Order of Souls, the higher level you got, you were supposed to get harder enemies that drop better loot. So like, you know how we go to forts and there's gold skeletons, there's all those type of things? You're supposed to get like more of those when you're a higher level, but you get like villainous gold and better stuff like that. That doesn't really happen in the game. Gold hoarders is the worst. out of all of them, though, to me.
I mean, I haven't done much of that stuff, but I just feel like my skill level and my actual game level compared to yours, there's a big difference, but we're playing it together. And you're having an easy time with it, like you do it in a breeze, but I'm actually like it takes me a while to do all the stuff. I just found that odd.
Yeah. That's why I think this podcast was a good idea having both of us on, because you kind of get my perspective as an older player and yours as like a newer player. So like we kind of have different views on things. Like for you, you kind of look at it as like there needs to be a bit more content, like actual content, like how we had the siren treasuries and stuff last season.
Yeah.
I look at the game and I remember when like there weren't megalodons. The only world event was skeleton forts, and things like that. Like there was only like 3 voyages that you could do, no Reaper's Bones. I look at the game and how much it's grown so far, and I kind of like, I'm fine with a smaller update like this because I think it's cool.
Mhm.
But I would be interested in like taking some of the old stuff and making them better so that they're on par with the new voyages. Because I like doing the treasure map stuff. I like going and fighting skeletons sometimes. I don't like the merchant voyages other than the Lost Shipment one, but I don't think they can do anything for that, really. But I just want to see them on par. I think that would have been the one thing that they could have updated in this season update. That would have made it a perfect season for me.
True. True. This is only technically my second season playing this game, so it's like I only have.
Third season.
Well, I didn't really play it.
Well, you did
The
all the
third.
Tall Tales, so I kind of count that.
I guess I really played last season more than anything. I just kind of trudged along with the Tall Tales.
Yeah. How about, do you have any more thoughts on like the actual updates? Because I think next we could talk about like the free and plunder pass. Anything
Pretty
else?
fine.
Okay.
No.
So let's talk about the free pass first. I think it's pretty good. I really like the Pirate Legend rewards. I like Merrick's Tankard a lot. I'm a little bit disappointed by the tier 100. For me, I don't know if I got used to it, like say Fortnite, where the tier 100 is kind of supposed to be like the best thing in the whole pass. But we
Yeah.
keep getting scars for all players for the tier 100, and then Pirate Legends, we got something else this season. I can't remember what it is. But I would have liked to have seen something else other than a scar, because I think this is like the second or third season in a row that we've had that as the final reward. So, what are your thoughts on the free pass? Anything that stand out to you?
I mean, I'm not mad about the free pass. I mean, it's free, can't be mad, but I also don't have enough ancient coins to get the plunder pass. I actually like a lot of the stuff in the plunder pass, but it's also probably just because I like the ship set that comes with it, and that's something I really want. But I play with you, so I don't really have to worry about that, because usually you customize the ship anyway.
That's true.
But
Before we talk about more about the Plunder Pass, I will say I think this free pass is a lot better than previous seasons. Last season especially, I feel like last season people got mad at me saying that I was a little too harsh on it, but I just found a lot of the stuff last season pretty bland looking. And this season, a lot of the stuff looks kind of like unique, colorful, just stuff that I personally enjoy. It might not be for everyone, but personally I think it's good. And,
I like it.
Yeah. We can go ahead and move on to the Plunder Pass. I think the biggest highlight for the Plunder Pass this season, because it's the first time they've done it, you could get 1,000 ancient coins in it.
I know. That's like irritating.
Why is it irritating?
Honestly, when I first started playing, because I was so used to playing Fortnite with you, where you get it once then you can always get the battle pass as long as you make sure you don't spend too much V-Bucks in the shop. But then I started playing Sea of Thieves, and I was just like, wait, if you buy the plunder pass, you don't get enough ancient coins to buy it again, so you have to pay more money? Like, what?
Yeah, and I get it from their perspective. Like, they've probably seen with Fortnite, people don't buy the pass usually, but I feel like they would have seen that people buy more stuff afterwards because they're happy with the game because they keep getting the plunder pass.
Yeah.
Not to go on too much of a tangent, but I feel like the reason why Fortnite makes so much money is because you earn back the plunder pass or the battle
Battle
pass.
pass.
Yeah, it gets all confusing to me. You get back the battle pass each season, which that keeps you invested into the game, and you'll keep buying new skins because the more you play, the more you enjoy the game, more you get invested, the more you want to build up your collection. So you are more willing to buy like stuff in the game. And Fortnite does it a little bit crafty too, because they'll give you 1,500. So that 500 is usually enough to get you close to what you want to get, but not enough. So either you have to wait a whole nother season, or you put a little bit of money on your account and you buy something. So they're a little crafty with that. But I think Sea of Thieves could learn from what Fortnite has accomplished with their stuff. As much as I don't hate microtransactions like other people do. I like how microtransactions keep a game going for a long time. But I think Sea of Thieves could do a little bit better with their Emporium. The stuff in the Emporium is really expensive, and that kind of thing. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I do think the Emporium is a little expensive, especially considering like how much you actually make from the game. Like, yeah, I get it. They want you to spend money, but if you have to spend a lot of money on a game, people are gonna play it till they get bored, and then they're gonna just not play because they don't want to spend money. But if they enjoy the game, they get invested, they give out the little freebies and they start playing and buying stuff, and they can earn some of it back, but they just fall just a little bit short. They're gonna be like, it's only like $2 extra, $3, why not? And like buy it.
Exactly.
But if they have to straight out spend like $9, $10 to get all the ancient coins just to buy what they want for that one like thing or like one pet or ship set, they're not gonna want to do it because they're gonna like psychologically they're gonna think it's a lot of money to spend on a game, and it kind of is. But when you think about it in the sense of just $2, $3 here and there, they don't think it's a lot of money, but they'll actually make a lot more money over time. It's a long-term investment for them.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because there is so much stuff in the Emporium that I would buy if it was cheaper, but there's things like sales. Sales are like $10. That's crazy. They're just it's just a little bit of like virtual fabric. like it's not even real.
It's not real, but also it's like it doesn't feel like one ship set, like one sale is worth that $10 of real money of you working for like an hour or something in real life. It doesn't feel like it, matches, it compensates each other. But if it's like you get a whole ship set for like $5 and you maybe you already have enough of like ancient coins so you can afford like maybe like what 2/3 of it, and you have to spend like just maybe an extra $2. People will do that, but just flat out spending $5, they're not gonna do that. I don't know what it is about people, but psychologically they're not gonna do that.
Yeah. One thing I think I should clarify for everyone is that I got this comment a lot. So you get 1,000 from the pass, but you only get 750 from the plunder pass. The other 250 comes from the free pass. So you're really only getting 750 by buying the plunder pass. But yeah, if you don't spend anything that you get from the season, you'll get enough at the end to buy the next one. So I got that question a lot on comments. So let's let's go ahead and real quick talk about the actual cosmetics in the Plunder Pass, and then we'll move on to our next topic. I like the ship set. I like that they put the full ship set, because that was one of my complaints from last season, is that we didn't have, I think, the anchor and the cannons for that ship set that we had last time.
Yeah.
What kind of annoys me, though, and it's more of my beef with the collector's version of stuff. If you've noticed in, like, the Emporium and now in the Plunder Pass, we have a regular version of, like, the figurehead or the sails, and a collector's version. I think the collector's version should just be the only one. I don't think there should be two versions. There shouldn't be, like, a cheaper, worse one, and then a, like, more expensive, better one. Especially in the pass, we should just get the better version, and then have that space for other cosmetics to fill something else up, like maybe a weapon skin or an emote or something. Because this pass, it annoys me. Because I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot with it, if you think about it. Because you actually mentioned it a few minutes ago. Most of the Plunder Pass this season it's a costume, one emote, and then the rest of it is the ship set. So really only one person that you play with needs to get the Plunder Pass so that everyone can get the ship set. If they focus more on individual stuff in the Plunder Pass, they would probably make a lot more money with it. And
they would, because I don't want the ship set. There's no point for me to buy the ship set. I play only with you, or I play with other friends who have a lot more stuff than I do for customizing the ship. I'm more greedy about my character.
Yeah. I think I would like to see them change it up a little bit with the pass. Like, I don't think they would ever probably do it, to be honest. They might in the future, but I think they should put like a pet in the pass, and then you get a few outfits or something that go along with it. Maybe they. I would like to see a better mix of stuff, because I don't like when it's just like one thing.
Yeah, and like, I pulled it up, and I see like the compass, the winter fire compass, but I don't see any other like equipment on the pass, and that's like kind of annoying because I like to match everything. They got all the costume stuff, but they don't have any other equipment.
Actually, that compass you saw, that's in the free pass. It's not even in the Plunder Pass.
Yeah, it's in the free pass, but like,
I would have loved to see stuff in the Plunder Pass. Yeah.
And I don't think, you pay for the Plunder Pass, right? I don't think there's enough stuff in there, to be honest.
I don't think so either. They claim it's like a $40 value or something. And for me, I wouldn't pay $40 for that. And I got the Plunder Pass this season because I had enough from the previous season, and I got some Ancient Skeletons that helped me get it. I don't think I would have gotten the pass, if I'm being honest, if I didn't have that. The costume, I think, is cool. I think the final form of the costume is really cool. And I think the ship set looks cool, but I tend to change up my ship set every time I get on. And I typically stick to a few cosmetics that I really like that are mostly just from in-game that I bought. So I think they could do two things. I think, one, change up the Plunder Pass each season, because I'm getting tired of having just like another ship set every season. I like having the costume. I think the costume's good to keep in the Plunder Pass each season. I think that could be like a tier 100 type of thing. That's good. Last season I was really hyped up for that Pumpkin Lord outfit.
Oh my gosh, you love that thing so much.
Yeah. The other thing they could do, add new categories of stuff to the Emporium and all the cosmetic sets. So we talked about how they could add pets. They could come up with new stuff. Like, I think I've made videos in the past about like how I would have liked to see them, like, you could customize the ladders on your ship. Maybe you could customize other stuff. They now added sitting. What if we could customize the chair on our ship or something? Like, there's stuff they could add, and maybe they could introduce it in the Plunder Pass. After they introduce it in the Plunder Pass, they could bring it to the outpost shops and Emporium, that kind of thing.
Like, maybe have it where it's like you can't get that specific customization, but it's the feature you can do. Like, I think I even asked you when I first started playing, like, when you were saying, oh, I'm gonna customize the ship, what do you want? I was like, can you change the ladders? They're ugly.
Yeah, I really started thinking about it when we had Season 3 and we saw the Black Pearl and how their ladder was so unique. And I'm like,
It
why
is
can't
so
we
pretty.
customize ours? Like, ours, everyone has the same ladder. That'd be cool. There's so much stuff. Like, I would appreciate just the little things. The lanterns on the ship. Even the bell on
Yes.
the ship. The lanterns would be cool.
Yes.
Imagine if you could have, like, the Fairy of the Dam lanterns. That'd look so cool and spooky.
I honestly like that could just be a whole other section that they put in for your ship customization, like your lantern you can change. And I think what is it? The Twitter post you sent me. It was like adding being able to customize the interior of your ship.
Yeah. Uh, that's something I've been wanting for a while. That and, like, private islands. I don't know if we'll get private islands. That would be really complicated to put in. I think that'd be something cool for, like, a pirate legend reward. But I think you should be able to customize your ship a lot more, like the nameplate, other things on your ship.
Like a real ship.
Yeah, like a real ship.
I mean, like so far it seems they look pretty real, like pretty close to a real ship. I'd love to see like I I I love my barrels. You know I love my barrels and I love my organization, but I am not happy with where they sit on the ship. I hate where they sit on the ship, especially the sloop.
I think that won't be able to change just because that is so ingrained into the mechanics of the game. But I would be interested for them to, like, make it a little bit, like, so you can change, like, the look of it, like the coloring and stuff. That would
Yeah.
be interesting. There's so much stuff that they haven't, like, customized, like, you can't customize on the ship yet, that I figured they would have added, like, at least some point. Like, the last time we got ship customization was cannon flares, and I think that came at either at the end of last year or at the very beginning. I think it might have been before the season started. Seasons system started. I think it was like when they were still doing monthly updates. Which I'll be honest, I kind of miss monthly updates, but I do like the
Yeah.
season stuff. The seasons kind of give them more flexibility to make higher quality things. I feel like.
I think that's probably why they did that.
Yeah.
I can't blame them, because it does take a while, like quality over quantity, but I feel like they need to prioritize certain updates over others, maybe. I think any company or game company should do that.
Well, I love the season aspect because one, it's consistent. You know that there's going to be a new big update every 3 months. You also have something to continually work on in terms of the free pass and the plunder pass if you want to do that. I don't know, I enjoy it a lot. I think it was a good thing they did.
Yeah, I like that. I like the like seasonal events that they throw in, like the special events.
They've been hit or miss for me. I think we won't have enough time this episode to talk about all the events that are coming up, so we might touch on them in another episode.
Yeah.
But I think this season will have good events. The last few seasons, I haven't really enjoyed the events that much. But I have a lot of faith for this season, from what I've seen coming in the future. Alright. Do you have any more thoughts on that before we move on?
Not really, no. I think we hit it.
Alright, so one thing we haven't talked about, which is going to be our next topic, is quest boards. So when you can bury treasure, you can also post your maps to the quest board on Outpost and Seapost for other players to access, and they can go dig up the treasure that you buried, and you'll get a lot of renown and a little bit of reputation. I don't think they've changed that. That's from what I last heard from them. They could change that obviously in the future, but we're gonna talk about what we think about this now. So I'll give my thoughts first, and then Yuna, if you want to talk about it too.
Okay, because I have a lot of opinions on that.
I have a lot of opinions as well.
I know you do.
Okay. I have no problem not getting any gold. I don't need any more gold. I know there's other people that are very stingy about, like, needing more gold. I don't care about that. I don't even need the reputation, if I'm being honest. But I think the reputation, you should get the full amount of reputation if someone sells the loot that you buried, that you put us on a quest board. Because everyone that's trying to get Pirate Legend, it's a very small amount of people that actually are Pirate Legend, based off what the Xbox achievement says, because you can see how much percentage. I think it's like around like 5 to 10% of the whole player base has it, and that's like 25. That's out of 25 million players.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's really small.
Wait, then how am I so close and I suck at the game?
A lot of people don't know what they're doing, I guess.
I don't know. They need to watch your videos more, I guess.
Exactly. Like and subscribe.
A little self promo right there.
Yeah, just a little. Anyways, the renown is good. My problem with the renown is I don't need renown during the season. I sail around, I do my normal stuff, and I get to level 100 within the first 2 months. I don't do any challenges or anything. I have no problem getting to that level 100, and there's nothing after level 100. So having renown be the main focus of the quest boards is really annoying and dumb to me. And I feel like after the first, say, month of the game coming out, people are going to stop doing the quest boards other than maybe to troll people by putting like one Marauder's chest on an island or having an island with a bunch of kegs on it and then one chest so that they might blow up or something. Things to troll people. And I feel like if they made it so that you get the full reputation and a little bit of renown, so basically just flip it, that would be a lot better. Because like, if you told me that if I put an Athena chest on an island or something, and I'm going to get the full Athena's Fortune rep for that, but I won't get any gold, I'd be fine with that. I don't really care about the gold. I'd like to just get my reputation up for all my trading companies. That's my main issue with it. I think the quest board's a cool system, but I strongly believe that no one's going to use it in its current form unless they update it and change how they have you get rewarded afterwards. So I'll give you some time to talk because you have lots of thoughts now.
So I'm sorry, I got sidetracked looking at Winnie.
That's her dog for anyone that's listening that doesn't know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say kind of the complete opposite. I am very stingy with my gold. I am very stingy.
Really?
Yes, I'm very stingy. That's why I keep asking you to buy me storage crates. But like, I think it's a nice feature that they added. I like the fact that you can bury it, but the treasure and like you can put up a map for it. But honestly, based on how many people I've interacted with more hostile players than, you know, nice, friendly people. I personally am like, you know what? No, I don't want to give them my treasure. They're all mean to me.
Yeah.
I don't care if I get renown and rep for it. Like, the whole place is just, the whole player base is just toxic in a way.
I would
And,
disagree with that because I would say it's about 50. It's a little hard. There's people that are kind of just a little bit toxic. Then there's the people that are super toxic that will like say racial slurs and all sorts of stuff. We interacted with some of those about a week ago, I think, on stream. And I actually delisted that stream because I didn't want people to see that. Because I don't want to promote those people.
Yeah,
but
it's not nice.
I would say about a good, say, 40-45% of the time, I usually run into pretty nice people. So I would disagree that most of the players are hostile and toxic. I think it's a little bit about how the game is designed. It is a PvP focused game where you're incentivized to steal and stuff. That's why I never really liked the alliance centric events like the Fury of the Dam we had last season, where the main focus was like having an alliance and doing things together in an alliance, because most people don't want to form one. I don't want to form one, to be honest.
Neither.
I'd rather just do my own thing, and then like if I want to get off, I can get off. I don't feel like I'm tied to someone else and like I have to follow up and keep helping.
And like, I mean, I honestly don't want to play with other people because like stranger danger, like get away from me. But also just the fact that even in any game you play, that some people aren't always as receptive to the fact that maybe you're just not good at the game and you're playing for fun. Like,
Yeah,
I
a lot of people
remember,
get mad about, like, if we're just fishing or something, they get mad, like, this is a PvP game. No, it's a sandbox game. There's lots of things you can do.
yeah, like, that one guy who invited me to his Xbox game chat, he was like, what in the world are you doing? And I'm like, I'm fishing, bro. Like, there's accommodation for this. And they're like, what? I didn't know that's a thing. And I'm like, yeah, it's a thing. And I'm like,
Educate
I'm
yourself.
educate yourself. And then he got so mad I killed him. Like, bro, you came up to me, didn't even check to see if I had any loot, which I did not, and you just decided to try and attack me. Like, not cool, man. Not cool. I'm literally just here minding my own damn business fishing.
Yeah.
And
So,
I don't.
let's give our final thoughts on the quest boards. I guess we're both kind of opposite. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I really just care about the reputation, even though I don't really need it other than for Athena's fortune. I think that's what will be best for the game going forward, because I think renown doesn't make sense for burying treasure and like having people find
Oh.
it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Honestly, I was very confused when he said that because I'll literally just be on the game with you sailing and fishing, and I get so much renown.
Exactly, like you were leveling up faster than me because you just like to fish, and
Yeah, I literally.
sorry about that. But
No, like literally.
yeah, like I would just get a bunch of XP for just sailing around, and this sounds like a negative about the game. This is what I love about the game. I don't have to do any challenges if I don't want to level up. And that's perfect for me. Because I get tired because they don't really change up their challenges, their trials too much. I call them challenges because it's just easier for me to remember. But
Yeah.
they don't change them up too much each season. They'll add a few things that go along with the update, but not too much. But I don't really need to do any challenges to level up pretty quickly. I just play the game, which is
Yeah.
great. So, I guess those are our final thoughts on the quest boards. Our last topic today, which for the mainly Sea of Thieves audience, I don't know how interested they'll be in this, but this podcast is about focusing on lots of things, primarily Sea of Thieves, but talk about lots of other things too. And this week I want to talk about the Fortnite Chapter 2 End Event and the launch of Chapter 3. So I was able to be
Yeah.
live in the Chapter 3 or Chapter 2 End Event, and you got to watch it afterwards.
Mhm.
I thought that was crazy. I thought it was amazing.
I was not expecting that because, like, I know I'm one who doesn't care about spoilers, but when you literally told me what happened to the map, I was like, you can't be serious. You can't be serious. Like, how did they do that?
You know what's
And you
crazy
just,
too?
what?
So, you know how I talked to you about how the Fortnite Chapter 3 would start like on Tuesday?
Yeah.
That's actually when it was supposed to start. But because the whole thing was getting leaked before the event even happened, they were just like,
Mhm.
okay, we gotta speed this up, and they launched today. Which is why I think there were so many server problems today. Like, I still haven't even gotten to play the new game yet. But,
I played a new game. I only was able to look in and just look at all the update stuff, and I think it's pretty cool.
yeah. So let me first, like, talk about the event real quick, and then you can give your thoughts, and then we'll talk about the actual Chapter 3.
Yeah.
So, for the event, there was a few things that, like, caught me off guard a bit, and I was super excited about when I saw them. First, we saw The Rock. Well, you just getting a little antsy, aren't you? Just keep standing up.
Sorry, I don't know why it keeps doing that.
No, you're good. I'm happy that I haven't got kicked from the game. I was a little worried, so I think this is going to work for us well.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the first thing that happened, we actually got to see The Rock's face. He plays the Foundation, and like he took off his mask during it, and you saw it's The Rock, and it actually looked pretty good. I found that really cool. Someone's attacking our ship right now.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay.
Alright, we're back. For those that are listening to the audio version later, and I might cut it out of the main version on YouTube, we basically got attacked while we were talking about the Chapter 3 event. So if you want to see that, I'm probably going to make that like a little short video on the channel. You can go check that out. But let's get back to talking about the Chapter 3 event, or Chapter 2 End Event leading into Chapter 3. And I really liked the scientist and the visitor. We saw them. I think that's where I left off before. So with the scientist and the visitor, those are just such old skins that are from the battle pass that like, they don't profit at all from including them. But I just find it so nice that they do, like for such a story reason. I think it's great. So that excited me a lot. And we also got to run through the Among Us space in there. Or not the Among Us space, but Imposters. Kind of like an Among Us ripoff. Their Imposters space there. Yeah. You want to know something interesting that I did realize afterwards? Because I rewatched it. Before you get in there, into where the Imposters mode is, you go in through a different part of the base. That part of the base is from the Fortnite Batman comics. I don't want to give too much.
Really?
Yeah, I figured that out afterwards, and because I didn't recognize it when I was in the event, but then I saw it again. I'm like, wait, this looks exactly like how the comic book one did, and it's the one you read. It wasn't the new one.
Okay.
So that was really cool to see, and I'm not gonna spoil too much of the comic books because I think everyone should go read them. They're really good, but some stuff happens down there. And I think it was cool that was down there. I wish I got to spend more time. I kind of just kept running because I wanted to see what was going on up ahead. So I didn't really take too much time to look around down there.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts about the Chapter 2 End Event?
I mean, I'm still caught up on The Rock, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, when I was watching it with you, I was just like, I did not expect that at all.
Yeah.
Because I did not put two and two together that it's his voice or something. Like, what?
Oh, I knew when we saw him in Season 6 that was The Rock, but I didn't think they were going to show his face. I thought he was just kind of be like kind of this masked character. I mean, it makes sense. They have The Rock. They might as well promote it more. But I kind of thought they were... I didn't think they were going to show his face because for the other... So to give you a little bit of background story, because I know you probably don't know this, and for those that are listening might not. Basically, there's been this whole storyline since even the first chapter of Fortnite, and there's this group called the Seven. They're kind of like we think are the good guys. We're not entirely sure. But we think are the good guys, and they're fighting back against the IO. They're called the Imagined Order, and they're the ones that have been controlling the island and like basically making players fight each other and that kind of stuff. So they're doing all these weird experiments on people, and the Seven's trying to stop them. So the first one of the Seven was the Visitor. That was Chapter 1, Season 4. So that was like not even a full year the game had been released. So this is a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the Scientist. That was at the end of Chapter 1, Season X. So right before we started Chapter 2. And then we got the Foundation in Chapter 2, Season 6. And that's when you got caught up, Yuna. So
Okay.
This whole organization has been working in the background. I think we're going to see a bigger part for them in Chapter 3, which I'm really excited about. Because I find them cool. But I guess the reason I started talking about it was because the whole Rock thing. The other two characters in the... There's actually 3 characters in the 7 that we've seen. But the third one didn't show up in this event. The other ones, we haven't seen their face at all. They've been masked this whole time. We haven't even heard their voice until this event, actually. So it was a lot of cool stuff that happened. And I was really excited for it.
Makes a bit more sense.
A little bit more sense, yeah. If you've been following up with the storyline, you probably got really hyped up about it when that happened. So, let's go ahead and talk about actual Chapter 3. Because there's some really exciting things that I saw. Right off the bat, we got Spider-Man. I know you and me are both probably pretty excited about that.
I'm so excited for that.
I'm excited, like, it's not free, obviously, because it's in the Battle Pass, but if you've had the Battle Pass before, it's basically free for you. So I was really excited to get Spider-Man, and they have, like, a bunch of different outfits for him and stuff.
Yeah.
And they said that there's going to be more Spider-Man foes and allies coming in the future, so I'm hoping we get, like, Gwen Stacy and stuff like that. That would be cool. But some really cool things I saw, they have tons of new stuff. A whole new map. Basically, the map was on the opposite. It was on the underneath side of the Chapter 2 map, which is crazy. They basically just flipped the entire world. And the new map was underneath it the whole time. And they have some new cool mechanics. They have storms, like they have weather conditions. So they have this giant tornado cloud, which I'm pretty sure... it reminded me of, I think it was Battlefield 2042 or something. I remember seeing a trailer for that game. That game recently came out. And they had like this big tornado in that game too. So it's basically similar to that, I think. And they'll have lightning and stuff. Which, I'm curious if I'll get annoyed by it or find it cool when we play it. So
I think annoyed. I vote for annoyed.
maybe. There's this new
I know
sliding...
I am.
Yeah. There's this new sliding mechanic that looks pretty cool. So if you're going down a hill, if you crouch... you'll start sliding on your knees down the hill and stuff, and it makes you go a lot faster. So that's really cool. I haven't got to play the new game yet because it was really buggy today. I think I mentioned it earlier in the podcast that they basically pushed up the update to today when it was supposed to come out on Tuesday. I don't know if it was because of a marketing reason or if they actually needed the time to get the servers ready. Because they did this the same thing when they went from Chapter 1 to Chapter 2, and it got them a bunch of marketing publicity, seeing like everyone getting super excited about the whole thing. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the new chapter, you know?
I like the idea of a new map. I do not like the idea of learning the new map.
I'm just so excited that one of my favorite locations is back. That's Shifty
know.
Shafts. I'm so excited for that.
I played at it before.
You probably haven't. That was from Chapter 1. So,
Okay.
I have my three top locations, all from the Chapter 1 map. Lucky Landing, Shifty Shafts, and the OG factories.
Yeah.
And none of those were in Chapter 2, so the last 2 years I've been kind of sad and waiting for them to bring it back. Alright, I don't know how long this episode's gone because I was keeping track of time, but then all that happened with those guys, so definitely check out that video if you haven't. But, you know, do you have any final thoughts on anything we talked about today?
Overall, mixed feelings about Season 5. Mixed feelings, good and bad, and just whatever. Fortnite. Overall, good and bad. There's some things that, you know, they keep the same. I just don't like the idea of learning a new map. I ain't fond of that.
I'll be honest, I was pretty bored of Fortnite the last few seasons. So like,
I know you have been.
So I'm not. I think this Chapter 3 will be a good test to tell whether or not I was bored of just Chapter 2, or if I'm bored of Battle Royale as a concept. Because I'm
True.
not sure, to be honest. I had trouble playing Fortnite by myself because I just get really bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
But with everything that they've added with the new map and everything, I'm hoping that I start enjoying the game again like I used to.
Yeah.
So at the end of these podcasts, I wanted to answer a few questions I see in the chat or if I see on the community post. I don't think I got any on the community post because I wasn't sure if we would be doing a Q&A. But I do have some questions in the chat, so let me pull that up real quick. So, Spicy Buffalo Gaming asked, do you think the fireworks will stay? For me, I think it's a permanent feature. I think everything from this season's update was a permanent feature. Do you have any thoughts about that, Yuna?
If not, we catching some hands, Rare.
You gonna go fight some?
You gonna catch some hands, that's what.
Yeah. I am looking through. Alright, we have another question. What is the point of Siren Treasuries? This was a pretty easy one, but basically, like, they're just kind of like underwater skeleton forts.
Basically, yeah.
Where are you going?
I'm getting something. Don't worry about it. Keep talking.
Okay. Basically underwater skeleton forts, which are pretty cool. I'll definitely go check them out. They're on the map. You can see it says like something something treasury. The shrines are like kind of like temples, and you can get loot in there too. So I'll definitely check those out. Nighthawk194 asks, is it worth getting Pirate Legend? So I think we are actually going to talk about this in a future video. Not a future video, but like a future episode of the podcast. Probably more in depth. But in short, I would say definitely yes. Not for the fact, like, the voyages and stuff. The voyages are basically the same thing you're already doing. So it's not like a unique experience. Like, the original Pirate Legend Voyage and the Fortnite Thieves Haven are all just, you know, normal stuff. You're digging up chests, you're fighting skeletons, that kind of stuff. Why I would say you want Pirate Legend is not for the clout or anything. It's for the pass. There's 2 rewards every season, or it might be more, but the last few seasons have been 2 rewards for Pirate Legend exclusively. So like one of my favorite rewards in the free pass this season is Merrick's Tankard, which is basically the tooth of a... Really? It's basically a tooth of a Megalodon. That's really cool to me. You know, you were pretty definite about yes. What is your reasoning?
It's just, for me, it's the clout.
Okay, I guess we have opposite opinions.
Yeah, we do have a lot of opposite opinions on stuff. But yeah.
I've played the game long enough, and I've been Pirate Legend long enough that I know there's no difference between Pirate Legend and like a regular player. So I don't really care too much, if I'm being honest. But I do see why people want it. I think it's a little overhyped, if I'm being honest. I think Rare could do some more stuff to make it a little bit more unique, like give us something to do in the Pirate Legend hideout, give us maybe some exclusive cosmetics, because did you know, Yuna, when the game first came out, pets were always planned from the launch, but they were planned not for microtransactions. They were going to be Pirate Legend exclusive items that you can earn in game. And they decide, you know what, why don't we charge some money for that and, you know, make a little bit from it, because they realized that ship sets and emotes and stuff were not going to make that much money for them.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that was the last question.
Yeah, I was looking through the chat just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, that's the end of this episode. It's not set up yet, but we're going to try to get this podcast on, like, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, those kind of things. I have to get the first episode made first before we can do that. And you can expect these episodes to pop up on both YouTube and those sites, those platforms, on Monday mornings, which is what I'm going to try to do. So we'll be recording them bi-weekly, live, on Sunday nights at 4 p.m. And if you want to join in, you can come watch. You can leave your questions in the chat, and we'll answer them at the end of the stream. And then if you maybe can't watch it then, you can listen to it the next day on a podcast form, or you can watch the video on YouTube. So that's it for this episode. I want to thank all of those that hanged out and watched with us. We had a good amount of people that were viewing for most of it. So I want to thank all of y'all for hanging out with us. And you got anything else left to say?
You should comment on the videos if you want us to talk about certain topics.
Yeah, so we're basically coming up with different topics. We'll talk a little bit about stuff that's current. We'll also talk about stuff that like are just concept stuff. So like that Pirate Legend question, that's something that we were planning to talk about in a future episode. So if we see anything that's interesting that we think would be a good thing to talk about in one of these episodes, we'll definitely add it to our list of stuff. So feel free to leave us ideas of things that you want to hear our thoughts about. But that's it for this episode. I want to thank all of y'all for hanging out with us, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.